Welcome to another episode of Tell Me More. Today, Brad Echols joins Katy, Hodges, and myself, and we talk about all of the amazing things that have happened in the life of our church this summer, as well as so many of the great things happening this fall. We hope that you stay tuned and you get excited about just the life of our church.
We're back in the podcast studio, and we're excited because Labor Day is over, summer is over, we're hitting midweek tonight, we've got our eyes toward the fall, and we're pumped to be here.
We are.
And when I say we I mean
Brad.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking summer is over, and I'm sure, Luke, you know, what is the official end of summer date on the calendar?
I think the equinox is on the 21st.
It's not yet, right? We haven't had it yet.
It's September 21st,
right?
maybe?
Yeah. So in like a geological sense, geographic sense, no. But in a practical sense, summer's been over.
Functionally fall.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
I thought it was, right? Like the weather's been kind of cooler, and then I've had
some
leaves falling in my...
fall by like the introduction of pumpkin spice lattes.
I feel like that's year round now, though. I mean, they actually start promoting it, but I feel like you can get it at any time.
I think you can.
Not at any Starbucks, because they know they have like that corner on that market.
They do.
I think they drop it like September 1.
Our videographer Addison got her first pumpkin spice latte
is that what you're
today.
Awesome.
Very good, but she likes it iced.
Okay.
Which it is going to be 90 degrees today.
Not very fall.
That was my next thing. I don't want anybody to be shocked, but Thursday I was checking, it's supposed to be 100.
I know. I thought we were done.
I know. So sad.
We have had a relatively mild summer.
Yeah.
It's still hot as the dickens.
Yes.
Right.
But not as hot as it could have been. As a college minister, and student minister, but I just remember move-in days and those welcome week activities. It was like 105 for, years and years and years and years. And I had to plan the fall camp out. Every time I planned the fall camp out, which was an actual camp out, I would miss the break in the weather by a week. Yeah. Like we'd go the first weekend in October and it'd still be like 88, 90. And then the next weekend it'd be like 55. Anyway, maybe I have some unresolved trauma.
I think if you have lived in Texas
I need to go one floor
you have
up
some
and work on
unresolved
some
weather
of that.
trauma related to the heat.
It's just so hot, which, we went on vacation last week, Ryan and I. I wasn't in here last week because of that. And I even am still talking about it with Ryan this morning. I'm just mad because we picked the Pacific Northwest. We picked the North Pacific Northwest. We went to Seattle Olympic National Park, which literally has a glacier. And Canada, Vancouver Island, I picked all of it based on weather and based on it being cooler. And when we got there, 86 one day in the city.
So like Texas last week.
Basically. Yeah. Really. And I was so mad. And Ryan just kept saying, what can we do to help you get over this? Because basically we never go on vacation anymore. We have kids. This is a treat. This is a special thing. It's just me and Ryan. It was 5 days. And he was like, can we enjoy our time together? And I was like, no, it's ruined. It's absolutely ruined.
Just like Ryan's always finding the positive no matter what. And that's what I love about him, right?
He's such a good guy.
He's an optimist, but we don't need to psychoanalyze my husband, but we can, because he's a fascinating person, because he is a very optimistic person, but at his core, he's a very security-driven person, which is an interesting mix of very happy, truly, not masking, just genuinely takes things as they appear and then thinks the best in people, and he's very optimistic, but at his core, he's very he's very risk averse, which I think is an interesting combo, because I think if you look at him at first, you could think he's more driven by fun seeking and adventure, and really he's more driven by making sure it all lines up and makes sense before he jumps into the next thing. So anyway,
Ryan Hodges, everybody, who
is the new, here's my life update.
This is exciting.
Ryan is the new BSM director at Dallas Baptist University.
Woo-hoo. That is exciting.
That word is kind of leaking out after, not because it's so private, because it happened really quickly. So that wasn't and then was, and then the next day they were like, we need you to start right now because it's the beginning of the school year. So our life is a little upside down.
Yeah. But it's awesome.
Oh, I can imagine, yeah. He loves ministry, right?
He's so good at it.
With people all the time. And I think you were even telling me he was excited about going to a meeting, right?
Pumped.
Because?
It's with people.
Yes.
And it's in person, because he's been online. He's been working business, which was great. He worked with our friends. And so it's not about them. It's about, he's just at home behind a computer every day. And it just wasn't working for him. And so we were praying about it and hoping that God would open something, and this is the something. So.
And look what God did.
I know. Here's my Ebenezer.
Isn't God good?
Yes.
So, okay, but enough about me, because I'm here every week.
We do have to celebrate something
Oh.
because I think we would be in trouble if we didn't.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, what are you talking
If you're
about?
listening to this on Wednesday, September 3rd,
Today is Wednesday, September 3rd, and it is Dr. Dennis Wiles' birthday.
Yes, it is. What, 40?
7?
Something
47
like that,
years
yeah.
old. 47 years young.
Yes.
I believe it's
really.
46.
Okay, 46. I'm sure he'll type it in the comments and let us know.
Yeah. Hey, D-Dub, when you see this, yeah. We'll see. So, happy birthday. I don't
birthday,
want to
Dr. Wiles.
sing, but
He's teaching at Truett this week.
He's not here. Yeah, the reason he's not in the studio in this moment is that he has agreed to teach a Doctorate of Ministry seminar this week with our friend Rebecca Poe Hayes.
Yeah, so I think he's teaching preaching through Isaiah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which is great.
She's bringing the Isaiah. He's bringing the preaching. Not that he doesn't bring the Isaiah too, but you know what I mean. But she's
His
got a
focus,
PhD
yes.
in the Old Testament. Rebecca Poe Hayes, actually, this is interesting to me because I've gotten to know her a little bit. She's about my age, so like we weren't at Truett together. She was doing school when I was doing school, you know. But her specialty, you know, her thesis, her emphasis is reading the Psalms through like a trauma healing perspective. And I think that's fascinating. And I would love to explore more of that with her
That would be cool.
one day.
Yeah, I mean, I hate, obviously, D-Dub's not here today, but as a former teacher and someone that loves education in the church, I love that he's able to give back, investing in. I mean, we know that there are just not as many people going into ministry, you know, to serve the local church. And so just thankful that
good.
our pastor
Yeah.
is getting to just pour in and invest in. And I think it'll be a benefit to us too, because I think it just challenges him,
Yeah.
you know, to even think about investing in our staff.
He's
and-
even said like what he's like, this has made me write a lot of stuff down. And now I can bring it back and share it with the staff, which I think is really fun for us. So, yeah, you know, we talked to him last night. He came back for a meeting, and he was saying like really a lot of yesterday, which was the first day, was these practitioners, these pastors, associate pastors, church staff that are at churches, just literally asking him, you know, less about the parsing of like the technical parts of Isaiah or preaching, but like, how do you find time in your week to do this? How do you really plan ahead? What does it look like to make a schedule of like getting this done while shepherding people? Like that's the benefit of having a practitioner teach in that way.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely.
like having a seasoned pastor who's done it for 40 years mixed with the academic expertise of someone at Truett. I think that's a really neat combo for that level of ministry too. You've got pastors that are out there doing it, been doing it for years and just figuring out how to do it better. I think that's a really interesting and it's a good use of his time.
Oh,
It is.
We bless it.
absolutely.
We do.
We bless you, Dr. Wiles. Didn't need it.
So he did preach a great sermon on Sunday, but we kind of have it a little powwow. We're not going to talk about it a ton.
No, I mean, I do. It's worth talking about. So it's not that. It's just that we have Brad here and we don't have Dr. Wiles to tell us more. We can't say, what if you had more time, what would you preach, Dennis Wiles? Because
Do you think he had more than the 8 points?
I think that could
Yeah,
have
I
been a
think he
15
probably
point
could
sermon.
have. Yeah, he could have
So
developed it out for us.
he sends all of us, a team of us, his sermon notes ahead of time. So we can, if we're helping with the invitation, know when he's wrapping up. Obviously, Jen puts together all the slides, and so we can see that. So this one, the last one of this mental health series, his notes were 4 pages.
Yeah, normally Dennis Wiles
slides-
notes are like 1.5.
I think his slides were 50. I think it was 58
Goodness.
slides.
Whew.
Don't quote me, but
Yeah.
you know, trust but verify. And that makes me think that he had a lot to think about, chew on, and he did not want to leave anything on the floor. He wanted to let us know everything that he wanted us to know before he
Yeah.
moves on to this new series that he's starting Sunday.
Which is on close social relationships.
Pumped about
and there's
it.
a really great tie-in that our adult education ministries are doing. And
Yes.
Brad, we would actually love it if you would spend some time talking about what's going to be happening in adult Bible studies as we go through this next sermon series.
Yeah. So Katy and I were actually at Ascent gathering, and we were just kind of talking about, man, how do we pour in and invest in our congregation? How do we pour in and invest in our leaders? You know, and Katy was like, what if we had this kind of collaboration or something that we had a professor or someone come in and just pour in and invest in our teachers, this really an intensive time of training. And then they were able to take that and then teach in our Bible study hour. And we were like, man, great. Who could we partner with? Who do we have the great relationship with?
Yeah.
Obviously,
who
Truett.
who would people like?
Yeah.
Because for us, it represents a shift too of more. We love our Bible study leaders. Y'all run the. I mean,
Truly amazing.
Yeah. So take that first, but. More increasingly, Brad, since you've been here, it's like, wouldn't it be neat to study some themes together?
Yes.
Do a study together. We do that during engagement month. We do that every once in a while. But you have some teachers that are like, we really like what we're studying. And I get that. So I respect that. So part of it was, how do you get them excited about doing something together? And it was like, well, what if we bring Todd Stehr? Like, what if you elevate it and it's really a treat,
Yes.
and not a burden
Yeah.
to do kind of something holistically together and try it out together. And so it turns out, thank God that you have this pool of resource in Truett Seminary,
Right.
and obviously the work that Ryan put in, which you can tell us more about that.
Yeah, so we actually were with Dr. Stehr, and we just talked to him.
Kinda pulled
and
him aside.
I think what took him a
so
second
silly.
and a half
Yes.
before he was like, yes, I'm in. What do you want to do? So yeah, we came back, and Ryan Chandler and I, who kind of oversee our adults, got to talking about it. What does that look like? How do you actually practice that, and then obviously wanted to tie it in with this close personal relationships. Dr. Wiles has also been talking a lot with our staff just about discipleship and how close personal relationships tie into that, and what really is discipleship at First Baptist Church Arlington. I mean, we're obviously doing it. Are we doing it well? Are we intentional? He's been really reflecting on that, and so just as he kind of talked to Ryan and I, he's said, well, what about John? What about the book of John? And Ryan was like, I love it. He goes, I see a lot of discipleship themes in there. I see a lot of ways that we could do this, close personal relationships, talk to Dr. Stehr. And again, it was like 30 seconds. And he's like, well, what if I just did the upper room discourse and we did these 8 lessons on, it was like like he had it in his back pocket and he'd been thinking about it,
And Dr. Stehr is a biblical scholar, so I would trust him with any book of the Bible at the highest level. But his lead arm is really the Pauline books. He's a Paul scholar. So to be able to look at John and then be like, here's the 8 I would do, and I would pick this, this, and this, and this. It's as if he has the whole Bible memorized, which he might.
Yes.
I mean, he's a brilliant guy. It's so humble. Anyway, what a good relationship for us to have with him. But also Ryan put in the work. I mean,
a lot of work.
Yeah. I mean, he wrote 8 lessons, sent them off to Dr. Stehr, and Dr. Stehr's like, man, this is great. This is going to fit in really well with what I'm going to be doing. I mean, Dr. Stehr, I think maybe he had a half a page of notes, but he just came with his Greek New Testament, which I've heard before, I've known. He was actually an interim pastor at First Baptist Midland when I was there.
You were there?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Actually, when Henry was born, he did our parent-child dedication.
Oh, sweet.
Todd Stehr is everywhere.
Oh, my goodness.
Because obviously his deep roots with our church is that he was a member here.
Yeah.
I mean,
And taught Sunday school.
yeah, people talk about, when little, Samuel Still was in my preschool class. I mean, they did life together here, so they have deep roots here. But it's like 2 degrees of separation from Todd Stehr anywhere you go. So anyway,
still meaningful time. I mean, we remember he wrote a whole page about Henry, his name, and just the blessing he prayed over him. Oh, it's just so meaningful. I mean, I know you know this, probably many of our church, like he would walk the halls during the Sunday school hour and talk and check in on me. I mean, very pastoral, which is no surprise for him, but as an interim, sometimes it is just, I come in, I preach, I'm kind of done, that's my deal. But
and to have that high level of academia and the ability to be with people.
Yeah.
I mean,
so good.
This is rare.
He was excellent. So he came in on a Friday night and just did a whole overview of John. Friday night, he did the prologue and just really did an excellent job just kind of setting it all up. Next morning, we invited our people back. We had about 90 people Friday night and Saturday morning. I think we were competing against a Cowboy game and a Ranger game, and our people were like, no, I want to be here. So they sat through an hour and a half, 2 hours on Friday night. They sat through 3.5 hours on Saturday, and they would have stayed for more.
Well, the fact they came back Saturday morning.
Yeah.
I mean, that's always a good
Saturday
vote of
morning. And
confidence.
it would have stayed all afternoon if Dr. Stehr would have had more time. And, they just loved it. So they were really, you could hear a buzz in the room as they were wrapping up, just talking about it. We're going to kick it off this Sunday. And so really excited. Our people are excited about it. Again, Ryan Chandler, thanks to him, he wrote the 8 lessons, which, if you've ever written a curriculum,
it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. I
and
mean,
he didn't shortcut it. I mean, he worked really hard. Yeah.
No, and because our people have high expectations and we want to try to meet those. And he tried to provide everything he could, not just, the commentary and like, here's what these are, but here's how you could apply it. Here's how I could use it. And then he, wrapped up with providing a student guide, which again, just takes some time. And on top of all the other things that he's doing, really appreciated just that kind of work. So really excited about that for our people over the next 2 months, because it's going to, like you said, Katy, tie in with what Dr. Wiles is kind of talking about on Sunday morning.
Well. I love that.
And that's a fine line we always work with our Sunday school teachers, because they are excellent. They're great teachers. They care for their classes, but they take great ownership. And so they feel like, and they are shepherds for their class. And so there are these times that they're going, hey, we would love to talk about this with our class, because this is where we're at. This is
they know
things,
their people, right?
Yes, that we're dealing with, struggling with. These are things that we just feel like the Lord is leading us to. So finding that balance between feeding them where they're at, but also, man, here's where we're at as a church, and we're all kind of on this same page, trying to be this church that reaches this community, and how are we one in all of that? I've been really thankful that our people have bought in, been supportive. Again, 90 of them coming to a training in the middle of August.
It's not
So
nothing.
great.
Yeah.
Means
Well, this
whole
is a
lot.
good plug too. If you're listening and you don't have a Bible study, we can help you with that.
We would
We'd
love to
actually
help you with
really
that.
like to help you with that. And there's a lot of really good groups that they take the Bible seriously, but they also take life together seriously. And really, I can confidently say, at any age in your life,
We can find the Bible study for
we would
you.
love to help. So obviously, you can reach out to any of us, or just come to the Connect Points or the Welcome Home Center on Sunday morning, and we'll help kind of start you on a journey of trying to find the right Bible study for you. We'd love that.
Yeah. I think we're going to talk about this some, but it just seems like we are in a very healthy place with our church. Just some of the great ministries we saw this summer, some of the exciting things we had this fall. But talking about Bible study this fall, and Luke, you can even help me to maybe articulate this a little bit better, but we've had some of our highest attended Sunday morning, Sunday school.
Yeah.
Our people are excited. We're seeing some new faces. Even in my own personal life, my wife has invited people from school that she's had a relationship with, separate families, and they've come and they've been
And
a
they
part.
come back,
Yes.
which is
and
always
wanted
the
to
big
be
vote,
here
right?
and excited. One of them was there with her, I think, 5-year-old this Sunday. Erin was serving in another area, and she's like, no, I'm still going. I'm still going to be there. She wanted to be
Getting
there.
plugged in.
So,
Yeah,
So
it's
good.
huge.
Yeah,
You-
we'd love it when people come for the first time.
And we love it when
even
you
more when
bring
they
your
come back.
people. We love the Aaron Echols among us that believe in it enough and trust us to bring people. Because that's, like at some point in my time here, my best friend Bethany started visiting. And I was like, okay, y'all, you got to treat her right, because this is, I'm telling, she's trusting me, and this is kind of my name on the line. And luckily, her and her husband have found a place, and but that's a trust that we take seriously. So you can bring people, and we will do our best to treat them right.
And Luke and I have talked about this here recently. I do think our people are being more intentional about that, not just having conversations about their faith, but inviting people.
Yes, they are.
Sometimes it's a sacrifice on your part, because you've got this routine. I got to get there, set up my Sunday school class, or I do this and this. And they're like, no, I want to do whatever I can to help you be there. So they're inviting them, they're meeting them, they're making them feel very welcome, which is very much a First Baptist Church Arlington thing. But I think we're seeing it more and more. And I hope that's a culture we continue just to cultivate and create, that, we're inviting people and helping them find their place.
Yeah, I agree.
I love it.
So you kind of hinted at all of the awesome things that have happened this summer. So if you didn't know, Brad supervises all of our age-graded ministers.
Yeah,
and
who are you?
ministries.
Yeah, who am I?
We saw you.
Maybe too existential today.
Yeah, let's not psychoanalyze me.
I
Let's
described my
keep
husband.
that to Ryan.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, that's
Yeah, Katy could probably do
Another-
a pretty good
another
job
podcast,
on me.
another podcast.
We've had enough conversations. She could probably tell you.
Here's what I'll tell you about Brad.
Yeah.
Brad is committed. Whatever he does, he's going to try to do well. You can trust him to show up, do his best, stay late to help clean up, all of that. Brad is a math teacher and a coach at heart.
Yeah.
So that carries into ministry.
Yeah.
The linear, the make it make sense, and the here are the steps I think you can take to get better, or here's the steps we need to take as a church to move in the right direction. So I'm not psychoanalyzing your deepest childhood wounds, but
We see a lot of strengths.
this is the Brad.
Brad
This is the
Echols.
Brad that you get, like the teacher coach and how that translates into ministry. Just like, I want to help you, but I'm also going to kind of coach you, and you can depend on me.
Thanks.
This would be my quick Brad rundown.
Yeah. So
just email me if you want me to do you. Yeah. I'm done. So the summer, but yeah, sorry, Luke. Brad oversees
all of our age-graded ministers.
Yeah,
so
everything
preschool
from preschool through young adults. Yeah.
And adults.
And then I get to, work with our adults. So trying to find all the time to do that. And then, I think we talked about last time, Katy, even overseeing some of the CDC ministry and working with Zoe and the
trying
great
to get that
things.
integrated into everything
she's
else.
doing with ministering to these families and loving on those kids, So yeah. That side of the ministry, and then just trying to do some other things like serving on some of our committees, working with some of our church governance stuff. There's just all kinds of things that really love and enjoy doing. But I think to your point, Katy, I love that coaching, investing in, seeing people grow in their faith kind of thing. And I think, Luke, where that ties into your question is, that's what I think we've seen this summer. We've provided so many great opportunities for our people
oh my goodness, yes.
to be poured into, invested in. And I think you're seeing some of that growth in our people through inviting people to Sunday school, just being here, being intentional. So, I love, as the math person, seeing how all of these things connect and equal this, Did not love the English as much because the rules never seemed to be the same
Luke's
with
an
all
English
the
guy.
things, right?
Yeah,
I know.
Luke's an English guy.
And I love that those English people can understand that and
I was social studies.
yeah.
That's my
Here's
major.
how all this
That's what
works,
we're talking about. I don't know how that plays in, but yeah.
Well, and I know in math, there's multiple ways to do some problems, but the teacher that I had in high school the most, who was so excellent, but he was like, no, you're going to do it this way and this way only, So I did enjoy and appreciate that because I knew exactly what to expect. So anyway, I love seeing that just ministry blossom. God bless it, So yeah, I would love to kind of talk about it and even hear some of the things that
you
y'all
brought
participated.
Paper,
Oh yeah.
So you have a highlight reel kind of ready.
Yeah. I mean, so let's just start out how we kind of kicked off the summer. It's a First Baptist Church Arlington thing. Katy, you've been here longer than us, but our camps are just something that really just kind of gets our summer rocking and rolling. So we do Connect Camp for our children. We do Encounter Week for our youth. And so just by the numbers, a Connect Camp had over 660 participants.
It's a lot.
Just think about that.
And what I think about is, and we know that's not all from our church,
right?
But let's be clear,
our church leads that effort.
Leads it. So even if it's not every kid is a member on our roll, we are blessing every kid there by the hard work that goes into just the whole year round we're prepping to make camp a meaningful experience for these children and their families or their adult leaders and all that. So,
we had over 70 staff and volunteers just from our church helping to execute that the week of. And there's so many of us that pour in and invest and help to get it to that point, from our ops staff and creative team and
they're
communications and all the things.
And then you think about just these moms and dads and that just take off, just take vacation days to go serve at camp. That's normal here. You know what I mean?
It is.
Yeah.
That's not normal.
It is.
But it's normal here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really great.
It's amazing.
It is to be celebrated.
So 660.
Yeah.
Wow.
And just for people that just pray for this, support this, just continue to encourage us to do it. I mean, there were 90 plus kids of our own kids that got to go, got to build meaningful relationships, got to grow in their faith. My son Henry, this is, I think, his second year to do it and just loves it, excited about it, can't wait for it. So as a parent, I love it, and then obviously I go down and watch and see all of these people, these adults getting to use their gifts and talents and invest in these kids. So love that, right? They're getting to grow in their faith. And then these kids just getting loved on, getting poured into, getting to know more about Christ, getting to see Christ played out in the lives of these adults. I mean, it's so many things that you just go, wow, this is the church at work. This is what real ministry looks like. And so, I mean, just an awesome way to kick off and start your summer. I think I was telling the personnel committee last night, Katy, it's so awesome just to see all that, but then to hear all the other churches, their leaders, their children's ministers going, thank you. This is so meaningful for us. We're so thankful for everything, the effort that y'all put in. But they then come alongside and help too. So it's just a great.
It's kind of the beauty of church, right?
Yes.
That we can be this larger. There's, it's all relative, but resourcing church. Where if you have a church that might have a part-time youth minister, they can't put on a huge camp like that. But, we're talking about children.
Yeah.
I don't want to jump ahead because there's a lot celebrated in Encounter Week too.
Minister.
Yeah, that's even more likely. I mean, you might have a volunteer running your children's ministry at some size of church, and you find this, and you can trust it because you know David, and you know the curriculum, and you know Dr. Wiles speaking. You can just trust the whole process, and you get to bless your church in a way that you can't on your own solo do. So that's something we want to be about at First Baptist Arlington.
Yeah, I mean, David Butts has been serving our church so faithfully for so many years, but he just does such an excellent job of planning and preparing and executing it. And I mean, I hope our church knows how lucky and blessed we are to have him, and how just what a great servant he is. And so, and I say that because if you move over to
Encounter Week,
I know, I jumped
Week,
the gun.
No,
Let's do it.
but that's where we're kind of
we
headed.
transitioned right into Encounter Week, which has its own stats and celebrations, right?
Well, and I want to start out by just celebrating, Tanner and Chelsea coming in and leading that for the first time on their own.
They took that baton.
And doing just an excellent job, like they've been doing as long as David Butts. They just did a great job of planning and executing it. I mean, the way they led the other youth ministers, the way they led our volunteers. I mean, they just did a terrific job of. It was just like it was any other camp, like they've done it year after year after year. And Chelsea has done it many years, but at this level to be the leader, just so impressed by them and want our people to know, man, how lucky we are as a church to have both Chelsea and Tanner serving faithfully and just
good, faithful people at the helm right now.
Yeah. So for Encounter Week, we had 17 churches that came and participated.
That's not nothing, just to wrangle it all, right?
Yes.
Just to herd it all.
Well, I don't know if y'all know, but sometimes youth ministers aren't the most organized, responsible, get things turned in on time. You're like, hey, send us your numbers. Yeah.
I'm thinking about the youth ministers in my life, or former youth ministers.
Yeah.
Looking at one.
So trying to get all 17 churches to turn in their numbers so you can do the housing and get the food and all. To wrangle all of that is no
before you ever get there.
Feat.
And then after, it's not even about at camp.
Yeah.
Like not about the experience at camp. It's about getting them there.
Yeah.
And then cleaning up afterward, right? Yeah.
So you have 560 students that come and participate in that. And so just organizing all the things that you have to do.
My goodness.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. And
I'm glad we're talking about it in here because it should be a big enough deal to make it kind of, we need to tell the people, our people.
Yes.
Like, well done, ed staff. Well done, kind of rallying this.
Yeah.
And then our people, of course, but they need a leader, and we've got them.
So 17 different churches. So you're trying to
wrangle
all them. You got 500 plus kids. And then you have, let's see, how many was it? Over 70 adults that come and volunteer, and you got to coordinate them and train them and equip them and put them in the right spot. And just on that, all of in its own, just the execution, planning, coordination of all of it is a hard job. But then you see our people, Tanner and Chelsea, setting that example of just loving on and ministering to kids. Like that doesn't get lost in the shuffle of trying to run this big thing that does minister to so many kids and so many different churches. Yeah. But Tanner and Chelsea just did a great job of setting an example for our adult volunteers, but also our students. A lot of our students are helping to lead small groups and just lead out at camp, use their gifts. Yeah. And that's all a testament to our youth ministry and the planning and preparation that they do for those things.
And that shapes them into lifelong leaders.
Yes.
I mean, that's the first step of, maybe the first step. That's one step in a journey of growing them into the disciples they need to be, but also the confident leaders that they can be. So it's just terrific.
So, I mean, just a terrific week. I mean, you had, just in the youth ministry, you had 7 first-time dedications to Christ, to live their life for Christ. You had several of the kids that were just saying, no, I haven't been as faithful as I needed to be, and I really want to rededicate my life, and I want to be more serious about my faith.
Huge.
One of the things Tanner and Chelsea did such an excellent job of this year was giving those kids an opportunity to kind of process at the end of the week. Usually you do that at a youth camp. You kind of give this church group time where you can kind of share about what you learned, what you're going to go and do differently. But, you've got 100-something kids in your small small church group, it's sometimes hard for kids to be able to process or share, and even if they all did, you wouldn't have enough time to get all done. So they did a great job of letting those kids write those things down, and share it. And then, Chelsea and Tanner were able to read through those, process that with some of those kids, follow up with them. It was just a great example of them shepherding those kids so well and not missing an opportunity to really talk through, really what God was doing in and through their lives. So,
one thing last week, we hosted 2 large funerals, which I think most of y'all know, one for Helen Waldrop and one for Levon Link, just 2 legendary women in the last generation before us of our church life. But one thing that I was really proud to hear, I think Charles Wade may have said it about Helen, is that before Helen, there was some kids would grow up through our youth group and be maybe confused at some point about if they really gave their life to Jesus or not, what that really means, that salvation moment. After Helen, and Helen doing some hard work and some good work with Dr. Wade, the kids that came through our youth group didn't have doubts about whether they really understood what it meant to be a Christian.
Yeah.
Which, that's like the most fundamental. I mean, again, back to our college ministry days, you have so many students who get to college and are
they just don't know.
They don't know. And it really burdens them. They're not sure what happened when they were children, and they may have been coerced or felt like it or just didn't get the info. I'm really, really proud of our church and its heritage at both children's and youth ministry levels, that we have students who understand what it means to be a Christian and that they can live in that confidence and then just take it with them wherever they go.
Yeah.
It sounds so... if it sounds basic, it's because it is. It's so
it's
fundamental.
So important.
Yes.
So important.
And I was really, of all that I listened to in both of those really wonderful funerals that honored 2 great women, I feel like that was one of the things that just stuck with me about legacy. The fact that we can teach our kids what it means to be a Christian and then show them and help them to launch, hopefully, by the grace of God, into a life of discipleship.
Yeah. Okay, so
cool.
camp
But
happens.
we've only made it 2.
It was amazing.
Well, hold
we're
on.
30 minutes into a podcast.
Yeah. And we're through June 5th or whatever.
Well, and so, I'd love to talk more about the children's ministry and the youth ministry because, for some ministries, that would be a summer's worth of stuff.
Well, and so youth ministry kept going. They did lunch on Wednesdays. Yeah. Every Wednesday, they did lunch in the student building, just having meaningful relationship building time. You could probably say way more about it than I can.
Well, yes. But they did that. They did a pool party, several times throughout the year.
And they ended with a pool party with baptism.
Yes, which was
amazing.
So cool. Just a meaningful opportunity for kids to reflect and think through the summer and just, so many things. Even children's ministry, they had movie nights, right? They had 200 people coming on a Friday night to hang out, watch a movie, probably more seeking close personal relationships than they were the movies, because it's not like we have the first release of anything new. I mean, we're watching things.
Sure. You can watch a movie on your couch.
Yeah.
If you want the movie, you can get it a lot of places. But if you want to be part of a community,
so they did so many things to pour in and invest in our kids.
Camp.
Yes. Well, one of the things I keep wanting to get to, and I'd love for you to tell us a little bit about it, is what we did with Global Gates in the youth ministry, and how they went to Houston and how partnering with the engagement team.
Yeah, I could riff on all of our engagement trips that happened over the summer, but so many of them happen in connection with our age-graded ministries. So our youth and Chi Alpha Choir went to Houston. They worked with Global Gates, and so they performed satsangs, which are Hindu songs in Hindu temples, but they were songs about Jesus. And so your students from your church went into Hindu temples and performed songs in Hindi about Jesus, presenting the gospel inside another religious context. They went to Sikh temples and mosques and learned all about different religions that are present in Houston, but also in our community. And so many of these kids go to public school and they interact with people from these religious groups every day. And so to help them get that kind of religious education about these other worldviews is so fundamental to helping them live faithfully as witnesses here. So I was really encouraged by the way that they engaged. I've heard so many positive comments about our students' maturity on those trips, and we're really proud of them. So that was the youth one.
Well, and about those comments, I asked Chelsea just, hey, what did your kids think about this? These are the words that she got from them: impactful, equipping, eye-opening, empowering. And that was our hope.
This is what we want.
Right?
Yes.
And see that there, but then come back and do the same thing in Arlington, Texas, because you do have so many of those opportunities in our community and in our
Absolutely.
schools.
Yeah, we could. Going away is very important, so don't hear me say that. But we could have hosted a Houston group and done that here.
Yes.
I mean, you're not having to go far away
Right.
to experience drastically different cultures than ours, right?
But such a good, impactful trip. I'm looking forward to what we're working on and cooking for next summer. But
We're going to look forward in a second.
later.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully in a second, because we're 35 minutes into this.
Well, tell us about the Denver trip
Yeah,
and the
our college
kids.
ministry has gone, I think, for 2 or 3 years now to Denver. Addison, our videographer, who's sitting behind the camera, was actually one of the adult leaders for that trip this year. But they work with a church plant in Denver, basically providing assistance for whatever that church plant needs. This year, our college students led, I believe, a vacation Bible school for that church plant. And so reaching out to children, sharing the gospel with them and connecting with their families, and honestly making a huge impact. So walking children through the gospel, kind of like what we've talked about, why our children's ministry is so important. So taking that and doing that in Denver and blessing a church with a vacation Bible school and the resources and the people to man it that they don't necessarily have at this point in their
And
life
Brad,
together.
you have a number for that,
Yeah,
right?
they got
our college
over 100
students
kids came to that vacation Bible school, that kids camp, and our college kids were the ones leading that. There were over 17 decisions, which our college kids got to have many of those conversations with kids, walking them through that.
Yeah,
asking,
likely their first time to lead someone to Jesus.
So really
formative.
thankful for what Connor is doing over there in the
He's so
college
good.
ministry.
3 cheers for Connor Torrealba.
Yes, I mean, I just continues to think about. I think this is their second year.
I think
in
you're
this Denver trip, just continues to think of ways how to innovate that and challenge the kids and take that and then bring it back here.
Yeah. Same idea of empowerment and ownership, and
really excellent.
And college kept going with Bible studies and all sorts of pool parties and games.
They
and
were
activities.
they were doing Bible studies on campus where they would work together, but then they were also challenging them to have in-home Bible studies and doing those kinds of things. And then just almost kind of comes back full circle to who Arlington, Texas had their dollar steak night to kind of kick off.
Yeah, let's talk about
What a night.
You know, kick off
Forget
the college
summer.
year.
Let's look at the school year.
Well, it is kind of that transition.
We haven't
of
talked about preschool yet, so we
ending-
can't completely forget.
we're going to come back to
All
them, but
right.
it's a kind of a wrap up of summer, but it's also a kickoff to the fall. And they had 180 to 200 something students.
He told me
on
he
our
stopped counting at
campus.
180.
Y'all,
I think he was being
I stayed
conservative.
for pretty much the whole evening. It was crazy.
Well, and so Luke, I was in and out. I was checking
You had
on the
committee
youth.
meetings.
I had a GCC council meeting. But what did that room? Did it kind of look like the worship center on Sunday mornings, or did it look?
It looked like the college section.
Yeah.
You know, so I think Ashley and I have done some digging. We did let a prayer time for our trads last Monday. And so I think UTA, 1 in 10 students is an international student. And then of those international students, 50% of the world's unreached people groups are represented in UTA's international student population, which is mind-boggling. So there were students from all over the world, multiple ethnicities, multiple languages, multiple religious backgrounds. So dollar steak night, you can also get chicken.
Yes.
Because not everyone at UTA eats beef. And so, but just a great turnout. I was really proud to see our students, and I recognize this is the hard work that Connor has put into developing his lead team. We're intentionally scattering across the room to eat with people they did not know.
Get it.
And then
That's how you do it.
Yes.
Our college students, several of them actually gave their testimonies from the stage, how they came to know Christ, which again, just really powerful to see.
Love it.
So, and so many wonderful
And
desserts.
What Connor does so well that I admire so much is the follow-up.
Oh yeah,
The
they were
dude
working
is
hard on it.
intentional. And that's how you make a steak night valuable. I mean, a one-off event is something, but the follow-up and turning that into meaningful, close social relationships, he has what he calls gospel appointments. He's already
I think
rocking.
he had 3 yesterday.
I think so.
And
Yeah.
Brad, what you
And I think one young lady prayed to receive Christ
and
yesterday.
then another wants to get baptized.
Awesome.
So out of
Y'all-
those 3, a baptism and a decision for Jesus.
Yeah.
it's like 2 work days after dollar steak night. So I think, I mean, not to diminish getting the crowd there, but this is personal. I could always get the crowd there, but that intentional follow-up is really hard to do. And I think Connor's doing it better than, I'm going to say any of us. He's so intentional in training his leaders, and it turns into life change. And I think that's just to be celebrated big time. Yeah.
Well,
and the school year is just, I mean, you could still drop classes. We're not even really... You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, some kids are just still trying to figure out the campus and where everything's going.
Yeah, they haven't got their sticker yet, and we're just rolling it in.
Well,
I just love it.
I am so grateful for Connor and Pierce and all the planning and leadership. But there were so many great volunteers
who
came and served.
Yeah.
I mean, from cooking the food to welcoming to serving, having conversations with people.
Again, same with our ops team. Just you never see them, but they make sure it's running and open and clean. And,
so good. We also have a preschool ministry that we have not talked about yet.
Yes, we do.
Well, they didn't do anything this summer, so I mean, what are we going to do?
They did a lot.
Yeah,
right.
Well, I mean, Casey Fagan, obviously our preschool minister, has been here a couple of years now. So she's just now starting to try and do. Wait, no, she's been doing new things since she got here. But one of the things,
I've been here 2 years. I mean, does that feel right?
She's starting her third year. But
okay. I think it's anyway.
Yeah, but anyway, she has started something called Kinder Bible, where it's just an opportunity for our youngest kids to really start building a foundation of knowing who Jesus is and how he loves them. So this is the second year of doing that, and she's had to add more rooms this year. Make sure I have the numbers here.
My daughter loved it.
Yeah, 107 children for the second year.
And we're talking Kinder Bible. It's only like two kind of ages. I mean, two. What am I trying to say?
It's going into kindergarten and going into first grade.
Yeah. So when you say 107, it's like...
Yeah, I think the way Casey put it, if you're big enough for big church, that's kind of one section, and then our youngest, over there. So, and for 107 children, she had 63 volunteers that said, I want to come and be a part of this and serve at this.
Had a great vibe. Great energy.
It was so fun.
Yeah. I mean, and again, just the way Casey does with her volunteers and using all the resources of our church and just a good collaboration, just a great
One kind
job.
of fun thing that came out of that's more behind the scenes is there's a lot of crafting that's needed. And so at one of our women's ministry events, one of the tables, we just had like a game night in the gym. So you could play pickleball or bunco or book club, but then there was also like come and craft these flowers, I think is what they were, or caterpillars, or, part of the set for all of this. And the women loved it so much that they were like, we want to do this more and more. So it's shaped kind of the ministry trajectory of some of our women's events, because in the fall, well, I guess we're in the fall now, in November, we're going to do the same, quote unquote, a different kind of thing to help Chelsea prepare for Dwell. That's so awesome. It's because the women are like, we want to support the ministry of the church. The women's committee wants to support the women's of the church.
That.
So it's just these quiet kind of underground things that you don't necessarily see, but it's shaping just the posture of our ministry life.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah. Casey also partnered with Triumph Sports to kind of offer a sports camp for kind of our preschoolers and then our children in the afternoon. And that went really well. So another experiment just to go, hey, how can we use our campus? How can we reach our community? How can we just get people on our campus so we can build relationships, have conversations with them? So another just new thing that we're doing. And then there were so many other things. Story in the park,
splash days,
open gym day, like so many opportunities for our preschool kids and their families just to come and have close personal
pool party at BK Water Park.
Oh my goodness, the young families. Yeah, I think there was 200 plus people that came and were a part.
Crazy.
We didn't go to that. Thought we might lose a kid.
Yeah.
Next year.
No, really. We're kind of on that cusp.
I think I was out of town for this one, but I've been to every one. And
we have new families who show up to that pool party and, getting to have conversations with the pastor and meet so many great young families at our church. I love it. It's such a great way for people to just connect in an environment of friendship.
Okay.
Fall.
We got to talk about, give me 2 minutes. There's so much coming up, including today, that I want to get to it. But
folks, this is just going to be a long podcast. Buckle up.
Give me 90 seconds. I can knock the thing out. No, I'm just kidding. But no,
go for it.
Like an auctioneer. Okay. You want me to try?
Yeah.
The basics, like the rhythm of the fall, is Pastor's Bible Study starting today. So if you can take a lunchtime break to do Bible study, it's worth your time. It's really good teaching. You may remember that Dr. Wells is out. So we couldn't find anybody else. Kurt Grice has to lead us. No, Kurt, who is so excited. He said yesterday, it's been 105 days since we studied Matthew 13. I'm going to give him an update on this. I mean, Kurt's put the work in, and Kurt's studied the Bible his whole life. Like, it's Kurt.
It's so good.
So Kurt's leading today in the pastor's absence. I'm really excited about it. But obviously, if you don't hear this by 12 today, it's every Wednesday now. So we'll just be doing that. It's our Wednesday rhythm. Lunch at noon, teaching at 12:30. And we also stream it on wherever you watch streams from our church. So we have that. Fast forward a couple hours, grief share, divorce care, they start. We have an afternoon session of that. That's why I led with that. We have an afternoon grief share if you don't like to drive at night.
Yeah.
You hear me? No excuses? Okay. And then in the evening, we have grief share, divorce care, and then all our midweek, more adult programming, quote unquote.
So we have adult programming at midweek, and that's...
I got the list, but if you want to try it from memory, you got Crochet Corner. That'll be meeting in our little Welcome Home Center.
Billy and Martha Nums.
You don't have to know anything. You can just start from scratch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, guys and girls.
Yes. Please come be a part.
Brochet.
Can
also be
you
a
beat
part
me
of
to
it.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Then we're going to have a prayer lab.
Yeah.
Tell a little bit about that.
I'm leading that. So just learning and practicing kind of different traditions of prayer. So we'll do some liturgical, contemplative, charismatic, not always the stuff we engage with in our Baptist life, but still a valuable part of the global church. So drawing on some of those things, implementing them, and praying together.
Yeah. Then you also have pickleball fellowship up in the gym. It's just an opportunity if you need to come blow off some stress and get some little bit of exercise. Also build some relationships. Obviously being a former tennis coach, dabbling in pickleball, I'm really excited about that. I hope I'll get a chance to be up there sometime this fall. You have Daily Bread, where they're going to be doing some different cooking throughout the semester. You can't just show up for this
you have to
one.
sign up in advance. It is full.
I heard a rumor it's full.
It is full. So we're really excited about that. Going to have lots of great people come in.
I'm going to do a lot of sampling.
Yes. Well, I'll have to go and check in on them, make sure everything is going right.
Toward the end. I'm going to go toward the end. Just
and then we'll have grounds and games. So just come to the cafe, hang out. There's no real program there. It's just an opportunity. Man, I've just had a long day. I want to be at church. I want to be around.
Maybe an easy board game. I want to get in a fight with
someone around Uno.
Yeah.
I heard a rumor that my husband will be hanging out at grounds and games.
Okay.
That's his spot of choice, midweek spot of choice.
We've got the break.
Yes, you got the break.
Which is our students.
Yes.
So 7th through 12th grade.
Yes.
The bridge.
5th and 6th.
5th and 6th.
And then deep dive, which is 1st through 4th.
Good.
And Bible Heroes, which is pre-K and kinder and...
Kind of big enough for big church.
The big enough for big church crowd.
Yeah, so Bible Heroes, you'll actually...
And I hate to call it childcare. It's more than that. But you can bring the smallest of babies.
Yes.
And they'll have a good... My kids come and play their heart out on Wednesday nights, and they love it.
So I was going to say Bible Heroes, you're actually going to see reenactments of Bible characters. I think Casey's recruited.
Fun. I've heard tonight's Adam and Eve.
Yeah, it is.
Ooh, who is who? Do we know?
I cannot recall off the top of my head, but
because you and I got, or did you get recruited? You're doing the prayer thing.
Yeah,
I will be either Martha or Mary.
Yeah,
Ashley and I have not decided. Actually, I could decide right now. If you had to choose between who's Martha and who's Mary,
I'm just not going to say. That feels like a
so moving on.
My workaholic friend and I. Okay.
Yeah, but anyway, full costume, telling the story.
It's going to be so good.
I just think that visual interaction with those young kids is really, really powerful.
Yeah.
So,
and then deep dive will be, really diving into Scripture, studying the Bible, probably memorizing Scripture, just trying to challenge it, raise the bar a little bit for our kids.
Love it.
So
good.
And then orchestra, choir.
And that gets us through tonight.
Yes.
We talk about the fall.
We've already talked about the adult Bible study series that's coming up through John.
Yeah, Sunday mornings are going to be
so rich.
We've at least put the thought into it. I mean, at the very least, we've prepared and we're hopeful that God will use it just to transform our people.
College ministry is moving and grooving on Thursday nights.
Yeah, they'll start their Thursday nights. They'll have their camp out in the fall. Yeah. I mean, that continues to grow.
You're experimenting with a new engagement trip.
Yeah, we're doing a trip at the end of this month to Montreal.
It's coming quick.
Working with our new partners, the French Baptist Union. So they asked if we would bring some people to basically be conference staff for a church planting conference that they're hosting.
Kind of like what we talked about with Connor going to Denver with the college students. Like you're providing the resources that are needed. So really great.
We tried to tailor it where you would only really have to take maybe 2.5 days off of work. So trying to make it friendlier to people who work full time, not have to take as many vacation days. But we'll send a crew. I'm leading them, and we're going to be conference staff, and then they'll get to attend the conference as well.
Well, Engagements also has a training coming up that y'all have had some people sign up for.
September 13th.
That's coming. That's next weekend.
Officially too late to sign up, but we can probably maybe find a way to sneak you in if we needed to. But we're hosting a training for Texans on Mission in our student building. We have over 85 people signed up.
Love it. So awesome.
Great.
Over 40
really
of those are First Baptist Arlington members. And so that's not just disaster relief response. It's things that we can use in our local ministry as well. So for example, if we get a big crew of people who get certified to run a shower and laundry trailer, we could use a shower and laundry trailer as a local homeless outreach. Or if we get a lot of people who are certified to run a food trailer, we could use the food trailer and do an outreach on UTA's campus. So things like that.
Dr. Wells said on Sunday at the end, like, you don't have to want to run a chainsaw to be a part of this.
It's way more than chainsaw.
Which is great. But
You could also run a chainsaw.
If you want to run a chainsaw,
Yeah.
this is they're actually going to cut down trees on our property because we have like 4 trees that Andy's like, I would love the free
Yeah, you
chainsaw
really
help.
just want to use a
Great
chainsaw on
practice.
September 13th.
We're really excited
Pretty
about that
fun.
because one thing we learned we've known about what we used to call Texas Baptist Men for a long time. At least I have, if you just live in that world, but they've kind of rebranded to being more inclusive, to be Texans on Mission. So women and non-Baptists can participate, which I think is
And
really
it's
great.
part of a broader entity called On Mission Network, which is officially a member of Ascent or partners with Ascent. And it also partners with Baptist World Alliance's arm called Baptist World Aid. So On Mission Network is part of the disaster relief response globally. And so if you get certified within Texans on Mission, you can actually respond to global
You're making this
disasters and
sound
crises.
cooler and cooler.
Yes.
What I was going to
we're
say
pumped.
is just we've learned through our relationship with them recently that they don't really have a Tarrant County hub. Like
Right.
if there were a big disaster in Tarrant County, they don't have a place that's ready to host the teams and kind of be the home base. And we're like, hey, we got this great big facility
we're
with
working on it.
showers and rooms to sleep in, and we think we can figure that out. So just exciting to be a part of something meaningful.
Yeah.
And help our people use their gifts.
And the real
to
shout out
serve.
here is to Luke Bridges, who's one of
Yeah.
our deacons. He has really been running point on this, and we're really proud of him. He's put in so much work. So if you see him, even if you aren't volunteering, pat him on the back because that man is working hard for Texans on Mission at our church.
Yeah, just following the Jesus way. And this is a way he can do
the
it.
Jesus way.
We love it.
I love it. It's just exciting, thinking about celebrating all God has done through the summer, but all of what is coming up. We're just blessed to be able to work here, aren't we?
I want to be here for it. That was kind of,
Yeah.
We're excited. We hope you're excited.
This is a great church.
Yeah.
Gosh, I know. The longer I'm here, the more I know you, the more I love you.
It's a good place.
First Baptist Arlington.
Well,
Can't say anything else.
Yep.
we hope you enjoyed this 50-minute podcast.
But it went by like that,
It
right?
did.
If you're on that treadmill, you just got a few more steps in.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we appreciate
thanks
y'all.
for listening, everyone.
Yeah. See ya.
Thanks for listening to the Tell Me More podcast today. You can subscribe to this podcast on your app of choice, or you can visit us at fbca.org to find out more information about the podcast and our church. Thanks for listening. Have a good day.